world. Man, I'm so excited that we can stay connected in this digital age just like this. Since we can't be in person, it's incredible. We're truly living in a digital age. In 2020, it's shown us a lot of things. One of the things is that we have to adapt. We got to be able to prospect, to train, and to foster growth remotely from wherever we are. Now, our first speaker this afternoon will cover ways in which you can use all of our digital platforms, to create a sense of community amongst your team and prospect in a virtual world. I'm real excited about this first session. Please welcome Singapore Diamond Director, Winston Yap.
Hello everybody to my Jeunesse family. Wow, this is really amazing. How are you guys doing? Alright, let's get straight into this. And today I want to share with you guys how to do qualified prospecting on social media, alright? What you should be doing and what you should not be doing on social media. So let's get started. So qualified prospecting, right? So we have to master learn what never to say to a prospect and master what to ask instead, right? Well, I know a lot of you probably think that, prospecting is pretty scary, right? It's a pretty scary thing to do. And you probably think you don't know what to say, or maybe when we say something wrong to someone, right? I think that can be, you can be quite fearful doing that. What if you offend someone? Or what if you can even get rejected, right? I think none of us like the feeling of being rejected. And, what if we lose friends? We don't want to lose friends. So prospecting shouldn't be this way. But now I'm going to show you guys how you can prospect. And you probably have made some grave mistakes like me, all right? So, ask them to listen to the webinar, without even building rapport yet, without even asking or knowing what they want. You just just drop them a webinar bomb and says, hey, you know what? Check this out, right? Or you may even send them a link to your opportunity webinar without the permission. Or you may even share with them, you know what? I just joined this great platform, Jeunesse. It's awesome, Or you may even say that, share how great your product is. Now, all these things that you're doing might be the truth, but sometimes it's not the right time to tell the truth yet, right? So one of the things that I learned from the Bible, and it says, ask and it shall be given, not say and it shall be given. So one of the most powerful way of persuasion is actually through asking questions, right? And the key question is, what should you ask actually on social media and when you're having conversation with people, right? So let's get to this. Now, I learned this from Aristotle. I mean, he is the master of persuasion, and he's been doing persuasion like for thousands of years ago when he started, discovering about persuasion. And he realized that persuasion comes in three parts, right? There is the first part, which is actually the last part, which is called logos, right? Appealing to the logic. Now, a lot of us know this. We tell people, logically, you should do business, Jeunesse, because it's so easy, right? Just be a user of the product. That's all you need. You have no overheads. Just start the business, right? And just spread the goodness of the products, and that's it. And that's how you make money. So logically, you should do this business on the side because, a job may not last forever, right? At least you could build a legacy for your family. Now, it all sounds logical, but why are they not appealing to it? Now, that's because there's one more layer. Well, the second layer is pathos, which is appealing to emotions. So we have to know that people are tapping into the emotion first, that they emotionally feel a need to want to get an extra income, emotionally feel a need to want to start something, right? To want to generate extra income or, to want to have a better lifestyle. There must be an emotional need first before the logic comes in. It's like when you're hungry, right? You always feel hungry first, and then you decide logically what you feel like eating, right? But before the pathos, before you could appeal to the emotions, what's more important is people judge. Every one of us here judge, right? It's because we already have a basic values system, like it's built into us, right? So some of us, like if someone spits in front of you, it doesn't matter if you are hungry, okay? If you're in front of someone and that person spit in front of you and you're like, no, I'm not going to get food from this stall, right? But you know what? In certain cultures, when you spit in front of them, it's kind of like a form of respect. Yes, I kid you not, okay? So a lot of us are probably thinking, so the most important thing is your values, right? Your basic values when you talk to anybody. And we all have some basic values, right? So I want to share this with you guys. So if you talk about values, one of the things that we're going to talk about is the logical questions, right? So we're going to ask people logical questions, right? Followed by emotional questions, all right? But before the emotional questions, the most important part is rapport. So people judge you the moment they see you. Instantly, they judge whether they like you, or they love you, or they hate you. All right. So you want to be well dressed. You want to share. You want to be excited. You want to be smiling all the time. And you know what? One of the thing I learned about smiling is using your eyes. That's right. The eyes are the windows to the soul, right? So when you smile, not just with your mouth, but you smile with your eyes. That is real, genuine smile. So one of the things that we're going to talk about is how to build rapport. The first step, right? This is the values. So you have to understand that every one of us have values. We grew up in different environments. We grew up in different families. We adopt different values because we come from different cultures, right? I'm based in Singapore, and you might be based in States, or you may be based in India. We all use different words to express ourselves, right? But all of us generally have one thing, right? That build rapport immediately. It's, do you value the same thing as them? So if I love, American football, and you love American football, bang, that's it. We have covered the first base, right? We've covered the first base, which means, we share the same thing, and it's immediate rapport, right? So always start with, that's why your conversations always start with building rapport first, finding something that's common that both of you can be talking about first, all right? I think that's the first and most important thing. The second is your looks. Now, do you actually look trustworthy in front of your prospect, right? You want to be well dressed, you want to be trustworthy, you want to put on a smile everywhere you go, right? And are you helpful, right? So before you even want to know what they're emotionally feeling right now, you want to be the most helpful person around you, right? Always do this first, right? People love, like if you go to social media, you see anyone post something. I mean, people post for two reasons. One, they want to post something to help someone. So if you compliment them or you thank them, right, for sharing, right? People feel good about that. Sometimes people share because they want to encourage people, and you thank them for the encouragement, right? Sometimes they don't feel good about their day. They post it out. You go out there on Twitter, right? If they didn't really have a good day, go out there and congratulate, to encourage them, right? If they post the kids, doing well in school, you want to go in and congratulate them. You want to build good feelings, right? That is our basis, our values, right? You want to ask questions about, what they care about, what they're excited about. If they post about the food that the restaurant they're in right now, ask them, where is this place? The food looks amazing, right? You want to be the kind of person that and post what people care about, right? Ask them more about it, because people want to post stuff on social media. Whatever that people post on social media, it is something that they care about. So you want to ask them about it, okay? You want to ask them about it. Okay, next is pathos, right? Which is empathy. So once you have got your values or your rapport done, right? Next is, what kind of questions can you ask to build empathy, right? So ask empathetic questions so that you know how they're feeling right now. So ask questions that show care for their well-being. That's right. Nobody want to be asked questions just so that you want to dig something out there, right? You want to show that you care for their well-being. You can ask questions like, how's your life? How's work? How's everything? That's after you have built the rapport, after you have something in common that you guys are excited about, after you have complimented them, you congratulate them. You can ask them, how's life? How's things been? How's work? Right? This is what you can do. All right, and the next thing you want to share, you can ask questions like, how's the work, how's the family? I think we all know this, right? We have this thing that we learn in network marketing, which is, right, a form HD, right? Family, occupation, recreation, money, hopes, and dreams, all right? Ask them, what breakthrough would you like to see this year? I mean, this is starting of the year. It's a good time to ask them what breakthrough. It's something positive. It's a positive question. What breakthrough would they like to see this year? And this is the best time for you to ask questions like that. That will help you understand where they want to be heading, and then you can say, hey, you know what? I've got something that maybe could help you accelerate you getting the breakthrough that you want. Would you be open to find out what that is all about, right? I believe you guys want to be out there and be the kind of helpful folks that you have with people, right? So people, all right, and that's empathy, right? And also ask questions like, if they review any problems, ask how long have they had an issue, because you want to really care for them. So you want to ask them what happened. Like, you know, if they tell you their problems, oh, I've been trying to hit my income goal for a while. You ask them what happened. Like, how long have you been struggling? Because as they tell you the struggle, you can feel the empathy for them. It is when you feel the most empathetic that when you say, you know what, I might have something that can help you out. That's when they really feel that you're really wanting to help them. So always ask questions that show empathy, right? And acknowledge them for how they feel. If they say, oh no, I'm very disappointed, you know, last year because I didn't achieve, tell them that you know how they feel. You feel the same way like them. You say, it's okay, I understand how you feel. I know what it's like to, so they feel understood, right? People will not care about you until they feel that you care about them, right? So ask all these questions, right? You can ask them, what would it mean for them if they could solve the problem? Because that will make them look forward to wanting to solve the problem. What would it mean to you if you could solve this problem, right? If you could get your breakthrough. If they get excited about it and you're like, that is a pinnacle where you can now lead them into the next step, which is the logical step, because now emotionally they won. So next step is, right? Next step is when you go to logos. Like that's when logic comes in, because the emotions part, you already settled emotions, right? So ask if they're open to solving it. If they are at a pinnacle when they're feeling it, you can ask them the logical questions, right? So what logical questions can you ask? Right, so let's get into this. So ask them logical questions. So I'm going to give you some exciting. So I'll probably ask them enlightening questions. I'm giving you some idea, some flow on how you can do that. Right. So use facts and logic. If they agree on the solutions, you want to make sure that they are still in agreement with you. Now, everyone has the same 24 hours in the day, right? Sometimes I ask questions like, you know what? Everyone has the same 24 hours a day. Do you feel if we should look for leverage when it comes to income rather than exchanging our time hour per hour for income? They will help them, give them some thoughts to think about, some enlightening talks. It's like, yeah, you know, it makes a lot of sense with what you're asking, right? And you can ask them next. You can ask them questions like, you know, e-commerce is here. E-commerce is here to stay, right? E-commerce is here to stay. And can you guys see this? Okay, e-commerce is here to stay. Do you feel that social media now allows us to freely reach out all over the world? Because you want them to think about the logic, like, hey, you know what? Yeah, we can reach out to people all over the right now on Facebook, right? And then you can ask them this question: business is about solving problems. Do you feel that the more problems you solve, the more successful we'll become in business, right? So this is actually leading. This is actually part of the presentation. So instead of doing statement, you're asking them questions, right? That makes them say yes. So, but the whole thing is actually a presentation, right? Do you feel that staying healthy has become an increasing need, especially now with COVID-19? Right? So, yeah, many people have persistent unresolved health issues. Do you feel that if we could help them resolve these issues naturally, it will help us create a successful business model? Right? We are not expert in health. Would it better? Because these are some objections they might have, right? Yeah, I know health is good, but I'm not an expert. So you ask them the next questions. We are not experts in health. Would it be better if we partner with doctors who are also credible doctors, well known on TV, in the news, and on social media, right? Which are all the doctors that we've been working with, like Dr. Vincent Bapa, Dr. William Anzelak, and Dr. Nathan Newman, and even, you know, Christian Duprou, right? So ask logical questions. Then online advertising is increasing. Do you feel that if we profit share with our happy customers, it will give us leverage to expand our business? It's kind of like tuning them into like a referral system already, right? But they are the one that says yes, they feel that it's a good idea rather than it's your idea, right? When you ask them questions instead of statement. Running a business with no experience is never easy. Would having a proven system with success stories made it easier? Obviously, right? So would it be okay if I show you all the facts based on what I've shared? Right? Based on what we've concluded. Obviously, they'll say yes. So rather than persuading by making statement, instead you could persuade by asking questions. The most powerful persuasion is asking questions, because when someone asks a question, they believe the answer of the question, they believe the answer that they give, obviously, right? So turn your questions into statement, right? Instead of saying doing e-commerce is great because you can make more money globally, you should do that right now. You can ask, don't you feel e-commerce can allow you to increase your business since it's global? Right? They can't deny that. So they will say yes, right? Instead of questions, questions always persuade better than statement. and this is what I want to share with you guys, right? So let's get straightforward. So if you have all the skills, if you know how to you know how to build rapport by asking questions asking questions that they could that they like what do they enjoy doing, you know, and you ask questions about it, you build rapport. It feels that we have the same value, so we have settled that. And then the next one is empathy. Then we can start asking questions that we show that we care about their well-being, and then from there we can go to logos and ask the logical questions. So thank you very much. So I hope you guys learned something today about asking questions as the most powerful way of persuading. And these are the 3 steps you can use.